Hey Em, what's good? Ready to kick this off?
Hi, Sai. What's happening, man? I'm hyped. We've been talking about this for months, finally dropping the first episode of Electric Memories. Let's do this right. Welcome, everyone, to Electric Memories, the podcast where we dive deep into the hidden realms and epic stories of the world's greatest football clubs. We're not just rattling off dates and trophies, we're unlocking the secrets level by level, peeling back the layers of club history, the moments that changed everything, the philosophies that reshaped the beautiful game.
Facts. And we're starting strong. This is our inaugural saga, the AFC Ajax Chronicle. Strap in, because we're igniting the spark that birthed one of football's most revolutionary empires. This episode, Level 1, The Spark, where legends ignite. We're talking about how a club from Amsterdam went from humble beginnings to rewriting the rules of soccer forever.
Exactly. For those just joining us, I'm Em, a lifelong football obsessive who grew up on the drama of the beautiful game across Europe.
And I'm Sai. I've been glued to Ajax highlights since I was a kid, discovering those total football clips on YouTube that blew my mind. We've both been obsessed with these stories for years, and now we're teaming up to tell them aficionado style. Long-form, deep-dive storytelling. No shortcuts, just real conversation about what made these clubs legends.
The plan for the channel? We're launching with an Eredivisie series, starting with the kings themselves, Ajax. We'll break down their full chronicle, the founding back in 1900, the early struggles and rises, the arrival of Rinus Michels, and the birth of total football in the 60s and 70s, Johan Cruyff stepping up as the conductor of it all, those 3 straight European Cups, and then the modern era, the youth academy magic, the highs, the lows, everything.
After Ajax, we're eyeing the full Dutch Big Three, Feyenoord, PSV, and branching out to other clubs with that same mythic vibe. But we're taking our time, building episode by episode, level by level. No rush, just quality stories that make you feel like you're right there in the moment.
Right? And down the line, we'll do full series on the Premier League, Serie A, and La Liga. So, if you're into football history that goes beyond the surface, if you want to understand why Ajax isn't just a club, but a philosophy that influenced giants like Barcelona, the Dutch national team, and basically modern attacking play, stick with us.
Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, join the quest. We're just getting started. Em, you ready to light this spark?
Born ready, mate. Let's dive into level 1, the spark, where legends ignite.
All right, Em, we're diving in. Level 1, The Spark, where legends ignite. Let's start at the very beginning. Not with glory, but with a couple of kids dreaming big in late 19th century Amsterdam.
Yeah, exactly. Picture this. End of the 1800s, Amsterdam's canals are buzzing. The city's still carrying that golden age vibe from trade and art. But now, football's creeping in from Britain. Expats and students are the first ones to notice the game in the late 1880s. It's shifting from some weird English pastime into real urban fun for the middle class.
And right in the middle of that, 3 schoolmates from the Hogere Burger School, Floris Stempel, Han Dade, and young Karel Rieser, get hooked. Stempel's around 16, got that entrepreneurial fire, and it's important to highlight his strong Jewish roots and sharp mind. Dade's the connector, about 15, full of energy. Rieser's the baby of the group, maybe 11 or 12, but already showing real organizational flair.
Yes, good call pointing that out. Stempel's background is going to have a huge impact during World War II, as we'll get to later. Anyway, in 1893 to 94, they formed this loose group called Union, then switched to Football Club Ajax. Yeah, misspelled on the registration as Football, classic teenage error, named after the Greek hero Ajax from the Iliad. The towering warrior, brave, intelligent, basically unconquered even in death. That name choice says everything. They wanted something timeless, resilient.
But man, it falls apart quick. By 1895, it's done. Why? Typical teenage stuff. Fights over who's captain, who's playing where, no money for kits, no real structure, no bylaws, no ties to the new Dutch Football Association, the NVB, founded in 1889. Passion without a plan, it crumbles.
Exactly. They learned the hard way. Love for the game isn't enough. You need organization, rules, commitment. But that failure, it plants the seeds. These boys don't quit. They grow up a bit, stay friends, and circle back.
Fast forward to 1900. Now they're in their late teens, early 20s. March 18th, they meet at the Oost-India Huis, this historic East India café, and boom, Amsterdamse Football Club Ajax is official. Stempel is chairman, Dade vice, Reeser secretary. This time, they're serious. Basic statutes, weekly dues, 25 cents for juniors, 50 for seniors. Registered with the NVB, the Dutch Football Association, in 1902 for league play.
And the philosophy starts showing early. Football as art. Skill, teamwork, beauty over just kicking hard. No pros yet. All amateurs from local schools and neighborhoods. The crest, simple profile of Ajax the hero. 11 lines for the 11 players. That Unconquered spirit is baked in from day one.
First match, though? March 20th, 1900. Friendly against local AFC. They get smoked 6-1. Ouch. Defensive mess on a rough pitch up in Amsterdam Nord. But Stempel rallies them. Every loss is fuel. They grind in the Tweede Klasse for years. Wins here and there, like a 3-1 over AFC later that year. But it's tough. Makeshift grounds, Het Veldje, or the Little Field, it is. Cheap rent, crowd small. However, that is what they can afford at the time. I guess in Brazil you would call this pelada or la cancha in Spain and le terrain de quartier in French. In the Dutch football pyramid, the Tweede Klasse is the 7th tier overall and the 5th tier of amateur football. And it consists of approximately 20 divisions, historically split into Saturday and Sunday leagues, with 14 teams each. Champions are promoted to the Eerste Klasse, first class, while the bottom teams are relegated to the Derde Klasse, third class.
It sits below the professional, Eredivisie, Eerste Divisie, and semi-professional/top amateur tiers. Tweede Divisie, Derde Divisie, Vierde Divisie.
By 1907, they moved to Het Houten Stadion. Wooden setup in Oost-Watergraafsmeer. Capacity grows to 10 to 15,000 over time. Fan base stays Amsterdam-rooted, middle class, with some Jewish community ties. Financially, it's dues and gate money against richer clubs like HVV or Sparta Rotterdam. HVV stands for Haagse Voetbalvereniging, meaning the Hague Football Association, and was created as a football extension of the Haagse Cricket Club, which itself was founded in May 1878 by a group of young men in The Hague. Sparta is the oldest professional football club in the Netherlands. It was also founded by teenagers on April 1, 1888. Maybe we will do a combined episode on both clubs.
Laughs. We'll see if there is an interest in the comments. Let's return to Ajax. There was minor internal drama compared to 94. The founders' bond keeps it together. No big splits. Then comes the turning point. 1910. They hire their first paid coach, Jack Kirwan, an Irish former international winger who played for Everton, Tottenham Hotspur, where he won the 1901 FA Cup, and Chelsea. Brought real English expertise to the Dutch amateur scene. He's basically the first professional manager in the Netherlands. Focused on fitness, technique, discipline, attacking play. Ajax dominate, Tweede Klasse West B, win the title. Promotion playoffs follow. They face off in a mini-series. Details vary a bit in old records, but they beat teams like Concordia or others in their group. The crowning moment, May 21st, 1911, in a promotion decider. Part of a mini-competition with Ajax, Zesde from Amsterdam, and Hercules from Utrecht. Ajax play at Zesde, a 0-0 draw is enough, thanks to their superior group record sealing the ascent to Eerste Klasse West, the top Western division. Undramatic on paper, but monumental. After years of striving, Ajax finally reached the elite level of Dutch football. The city celebrates. It's huge for a neighborhood club, validating Kirwan and the founder's vision.
And right away, changes hit. Kit clash with Sparta. They've got the same jersey as Ajax, the red and white stripes. So Ajax switch. White shirt with one broad, vertical red stripe down the middle. White shorts, black socks. Pulled straight from Amsterdam's flag. Red for passion, white for purity. Iconic from then on.
Yes, still a winner. Facilities upgrade too. Add a wooden stand to Het Houten Stadion. But 1911-12 season, rough start as newcomers. Lose the first 5 games, finish. Mid-table. Builds grit though. Kirwan leaves in 1915, but that promotion, it's the spark. Gets them competing with elites. Sets up later successes like the 1917 KNVB Cup win.
Player 1. Think about it, from a failed teen pickup game in '94 to structured rebirth in 1900 to finally cracking the top flight in 1911. Persistence, adaptation, that unconquered mindset. It's not flashy yet, but it's the foundation for everything that comes. The philosophy, the youth focus. Total football decades later.
Totally. Ajax isn't born a giant. It's forged through those early hurdles, reflecting Amsterdam's own spirit, innovative, resilient, artistic. Without this chapter, no Cruyff era, no modern legacy.
Love that. Sets the stage perfectly. So next, we build on this. Into the Wars, Reynolds, the first titles. Man, after that early grind and the 1911 breakthrough, Ajax finally gets a real architect. Enter Jack Reynolds. Notice this guy name is also Jack. This Englishman who basically becomes the father of Ajax. Born in 1881 near Bury, England. Modest playing career in lower leagues like Manchester City Reserves, Burton United, Grimsby Town. Not a star player, but as a coach, absolute game changer.
Absolutely. He arrives in 1915, right after Kirwan leaves. World War I is raging. He was lined up to coach Germany's national team, but ends up in the Netherlands via Switzerland, where he coached St. Gallen. Takes over an amateur club still figuring things out, but he brings proper English professionalism to a scene that's all casual training and physical play.
Yeah, and he stays for 3 spells totaling 27 years, 1915 to 1925, then back 1928 to 1940, and post-war 1945 to 1947. He's pioneering stuff that plants the seeds for total football. Rigorous fitness, ball control drills, attacking with skill over brute force, using wingers smartly. Demands discipline from amateurs, focuses on possession, movement, intelligence on the pitch.
First spell is huge. 1917. First major trophy, the NVB Cup. 5-0 final, win over VSV. Then 1917-18, first National League title. 1918-19, second title, unbeaten. That's massive in an era of regional playoffs. Multiple regional wins too. He's turning Ajax into a real force.
But then, 1925, boom, he resigns. Board disagreements over investing in youth, facilities. Reynolds wants more structure. The board's conservative, amateur mindset clashes with his pro approach. It was a shock. Contemporary newspapers like De Telegraaf called it a major surprise, and he defects to city rivals WWII Amsterdam, a working-class club founded in 1902. He manages there from 1925 to 1928. Some Ajax fans see it as betrayal, ramps up the local rivalry big time.
That gap, 1925 to 1928, is rough. Interim coaches like Harold Rose and Stanley Castle can't match his vision. Team drops to mid-table, inconsistent form, crowds shrink, shows just how much they relied on him. Key players like Wim Andriessen Sr., versatile midfielder, real leader, and Piet van Reenen, who later becomes Ajax's all-time top scorer with 273 goals, try to steady things, but without Reynolds' rigorous training, fitness, and cohesion dip.
In 1926, Stanley Castle takes over, another Englishman, amateur coaching background. His time, 1926 to 1928, experiments with a more defensive setup to handle rivals like Feyenoord and Sparta, but results underwhelm, mid-table hovering, no major honors. 1926 to 27 finishes 4th in the division. 1927 to 28 even bleaker, early cup exits, string of draws against lesser teams. Financially hurts too. Crowds at Het Houten Stadion drop from 8,000 to 10,000 under Reynolds to around 5,000 to 6,000, straining an amateur-era club. By end of 1927 to 28, Reynolds is dissatisfied at WWII. No titles there, just mid-table stability. He reaches out to Ajax. Bored, humbled by the failures, ousts Castle and welcomes him back for 1928 to 29. He's not alone. Jan de Natris, former Ajax star winger, dribbling flair but controversial off-field, suspended in 1924, returns at 33 after Vitesse stints. Symbolic mentor role, but form's gone. Just 2 goals in 8 games before retiring. Returns rocky. 1928 to 29 is a disaster. 1 point from first 5 games, sharing last place mid-season with UVV. Narrowly avoid relegation thanks to late wins from Van Reenen's goals and Andriessen's control. Challenges of reintegration, but Reynolds reinstates fluid play and youth focus, sets up the 1930s Golden Age.
Then, the 1930s, Golden Age. National titles in 1930 to 31, 31 to 32, 33 to 34, 36 to 37, 38 to 39, 5 in the decade, record 17 to 0 win in 31 over WWII, Voetbalvereniging Uitstekend Club, or Excellent Club Football Association. Halftime score was 9 to 0 and final score 17 to 0. It was a home game at Ajax's ground, Het Houten Stadion, the wooden stadium, with an attendance of around 10,000 spectators. They completely trashed the opposition. It exemplifies the attacking dominance Reynolds instilled. Fluid, skillful, high-scoring football that prefigured later Ajax philosophies. He refines everything, uniform style across youth teams for seamless progression.
Key innovations he pushes. 1. Early concepts of positional fluidity. Players interchange roles, adapt, cover teammates, clear seeds of total football. 2. Youth Academy foundations. Structured age groups, uniform coaching, scouting, technical focus. 3. Attacking formations exploiting space, high-pressing precursors, fitness for sustained play.
Exactly. Youth foundations right there. Scouting, technical focus, juniors flowing seamlessly to first team, attacking setups exploiting space. By then, Ajax draws big crowds, upgrades, Het Houten Stadion. He elevated them from local to Dutch giants. Reynolds' core beliefs: football as art, skillful, attacking, possession-based over physicality, continuity and youth, uniform training from juniors to seniors, foundation of the toekomst, the future academy, versatility. Players adapt positions fluidly, reclaim space quickly, play intelligently, professional mindset in amateur era, discipline, fitness, tactical innovation.
Then World War II hits. 1940. Nazi occupation, devastating. Reynolds, British, interned briefly but released. Clubs tied to Amsterdam's Jewish community. Location near the Jewish Quarter. Strong Jewish fan base, later nicknamed De Joden, or the Jews. Under occupation, horrors unfold. Tragic chapter. Netherlands loses over 100,000 of 140,000 Jews, highest rate in Western Europe. Ajax expels Jewish members to comply with Aryanization rules by late 1940. Chairman Koonstam resigns. At least 21 to 22 members killed in camps, including star Eddie Hamel, American Jewish winger murdered at Auschwitz in 43. Others in resistance or hiding. Some help. Goalkeeper Gerrit Kaiser hides Jews, networks save dozens. But board's compliance to keep playing draws criticism. It's a gray record, as Simon Cooper details in his book Ajax, the Dutch, the War Football in Europe during the Second World War. Play continues sporadically under Nazi oversight. 1942 to 43. KNVB Cup win feels hollow amid deportations, curfews, hunger, winter famine. Players malnourished. Matches cancelled. Reynolds in hiding by then. Liberation in 45 brings relief, but scars deep. Community shattered.
Reynolds returns 1945 to 47, wins one last title in 46 to 47, his 8th national championship, retires at 66. Overall, 8 Dutch titles, 1 cup, 13 regionals, unbeaten season, transformed the club. His philosophy: football as art, skillful, attacking, possession-based, continuity, youth integration, versatility, adapting positions, reclaiming space, professional mindset in amateur times, directly influences Michels, who debuts under him and later implements total football, fluid interchanges, high pressing, space manipulation, for 3 European Cups, 1971 to 73. Youth emphasis produces generations, attacking ethos echoes in modern Ajax.
Totally. Reynolds is the bridge, from humble origins to the golden future. Less flashy than Michels or Cruyff, but revered as the guy who made Ajax. There is a stand named after him at Old de Meer. His story is about long-term vision, resilience through adversity. Sets up everything. Without Reynolds, no academy magic, no total football DNA. This era's the real spark turning into a fire.
Couldn't agree more. We've covered the foundations. Next, post-war rebuild, professionalism in 1954, leading to the 60s revolution.
And speaking of that unbreakable spirit, on the next episode, we move into the post-war rebuild, the arrival of professionalism in 1954, and the man who takes everything Reynolds planted and turns it into something revolutionary. We're talking about the guy widely seen as the father of modern football, Rinus Michels. The birth of total football. That philosophy of fluid, intelligent, attacking play where everyone defends, everyone attacks, total team harmony. It didn't just change Ajax, it influenced generations of coaches and teams worldwide, from Barcelona's dream teams to pretty much every top side that plays beautiful, possession-based football today.
Oh, it's going to be electric. But for now, we've unlocked level 1, the spark, where legends ignite.
Yeah, and honestly, after hearing about a club that survived teenage drama, board fights, world wars, and still came out swinging, makes our little podcast feel pretty invincible too.
Speak for yourself, Sai. I was sweating just reading about the Hunger Winter. But hey, if Ajax can rebuild after all that, we can definitely survive a few 11 laps voice glitches and my terrible Dutch pronunciation attempts.
True that. Chuckles. All right, quest seekers. Thanks for joining us on Electric Memories. Hit subscribe if you're ready for the next level. Turn on notifications so you don't miss Michels dropping the blueprint for modern football. Until then, keep the ball moving, stay unconquered, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Born ready for it. Take care, everyone. Ajax, forever.